Hi folks, welcome to the Truck King YouTube channel and the first video in the 2025 Truck King Truck of the Year Award series. In this video, we're going to talk about this truck, the Toyota Tacoma, and then in subsequent videos, we're going to talk about all the new trucks this year that we have tested, and then of course at the end, we're going to crown the Truck King, so make sure you stay tuned. Well, Dad, it is that time of year again. We're going to go over all the best trucks we drove from this year and then crown our winner for the 2025 model year. And yeah, we've been doing this on YouTube for just a couple of years, but we've been crowning the Truck King for a long time now.
Since 2006, that's when I started this, back when it was primarily just for print publications. And if you're Canadian, you would have read about it at some paper across this country. But today, it's all YouTube.
Yep, and that's it. We're continuing that long tradition of crowning the Truck King. So let's talk about the Tacoma, and we have to start with some history because you probably remember, hopefully you were watching, that we crowned the Toyota Tacoma the 2024 Truck King. Now at that time, we had only driven the gas engine, only the turbocharged engine, but we actually felt so strongly about this redesign that we decided to give it the win anyways. Since then though, we've been in a number of different Tacomas, and most importantly, the new hybrid power plant and those top trim trucks, the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter. So specifically for 2025, we're talking about the hybrid trucks. We're talking about those top end Tacomas, and we're going to discuss, whether they're really worthy, whether they're good enough to stand out from the pack and be crowned our winner.
Well, in this year, we have the benefit of a year's worth of driving already behind us.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot more spot on when it comes to our opinion.
And I will say, again, we can rewind for just a second. We picked that truck as the winner. You probably saw then, early in the year, last year, we had our issue with the clutch. So we suffered from the reliability problems that the Tacoma kind of seems to be having. And a lot of people called us out, maybe you did, and said, hey, I can't believe you picked that as your truck of the year, and then it broke. I will say I would make that choice again, 100 times out of 100, because at that day, that was all the information we had on the truck, and I still think Toyota nailed a ton of things when it comes to this redesign. I'm assuming you feel the same way. Right?
In very much so, and besides, there are unknown unknowns, and at that point, we didn't have that. And even with the issues that we've had this year, I think there's still a lot of strong evidence that this is a better Tacoma.
Yeah, I will agree with you. So now let's move forward and let's talk about these hybrids. So the hybrid truck, this is brand new for Tacoma. It's not been a hybrid before. And Dad, I think the key with Toyota's new gen hybrids, especially in their trucks, is it's not fuel economy focused. It's very much power focused. So they even said that right off the bat. They said, we're not putting a battery in there to help it be more efficient. We want to make sure you're getting that grunt, that low end torque out of the battery, and then sort of the turbocharged 4-cylinder takes over. And in that vein, I will agree with them. I think the hybrids, it's a definite step above just the regular turbocharged engine. You feel that low end power. When you're just in the turbo, there's the lag. You get in the hybrid and that lag is basically eliminated. So driving the TRD Pro and the Trail Hunter, they feel plenty powerful. And next to a lot of the other top end trucks out there, they feel just as, if not a little bit more powerful. So just looking at the hybrid power plant, from everything we've done, I think it's a winner as well. I think they really did a good job at tuning it, giving you that power delivery. Maybe they could have made it a little more efficient, but that's maybe not what people are looking for. So.
Today, the efficiency aspect is there's so much shift from big displacement engines that guys are so worried about that. They're worried about losing V8s going to 6s, 6s going to 4s.
Right.
And then in general, there seems to be this fear of the turbos. So when you add the hybrid to it, and now we've got almost a year under our belts with the hybrid, okay, and that thing is working. And to Steve's point, yeah, it's not about efficiency, it's about power. So you're not going to lose anything. That's what I think Toyota was after.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, just power plant wise, I don't really have any issues with the hybrid. I think they pretty much nailed it. Tuning, power, it's all there. And now let's go a little deeper into TRD Pro and Trail Hunter specifically, because those are really the exciting trucks. And we had the chance to actually test them right back to back, same day. We took them both off-road, so really got a good feel for the differences. So starting on TRD Pro, this is a known quantity, right? TRD Pro has been around since 2015, so we've had many years of that trim. It's the top-end off-road trim at Toyota, and it's also a little high-speed focused. TRD Pro has always kind of been about the desert thing, running out in the desert, being able to hit those higher speeds. So with the new TRD Pro, my big takeaway was it's really good, great off-road truck. Not a huge step above where the TRD Pro was before, though. The suspension doesn't feel, way softer, or doesn't feel like it's soaking things up way better. It sort of feels the same, and that is saying something because the old TRD Pro still had leaf springs. New TRD Pro dropped the leaf springs out of the back and went to coils, but still, it doesn't feel like sort of a massive step. That was my take on TRD Pro. Good truck, but not a massive step above the old one.
Now, the interesting thing is that moving to coils is actually going to give you a better ride on road.
Sure.
And of course, we're always talking about off-road where TRD Pro is concerned. So the coils don't really play a part in that. That's all more about the shocks and the damping and the rebound rate. And, and to Steve's point, yeah, you know what? That's a known quantity. It's pretty much what it's been, and it's always been okay. But then I got to throw in here, because as you'll see in some of the clips that we'll include, is those isometric seats. I want to talk about what, in my opinion, is a classic fail of a bunch of engineers that sat around and said, okay, we got to do something really, really cool. So let's put in a seat which only benefits the driver, totally eats up the back seat, and will bust anybody's kneecaps who's sitting back there. Yeah. So, you know what, guys? Yeah, I applaud you for taking a big, bold step. You should have just left it on the drawing board.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about sort of things it's missing, something in that front differential would have been nice, whether it was limited slip or locker. And it's like, yeah, everyone else has gone there. Chevy and Ford have gone there. Jeep's gone there. Toyota decided to spend its money on something like isometric seats rather than giving us the front locker that I feel like a lot of people are looking for. So I'll agree with you on the seats. And then, yeah, just in practice, we ran at high speeds. I don't know, maybe they made a little bit of a difference, but it didn't feel, again, massively different from what it felt like before.
Yeah, if you're going to opt for that, make sure that you're a single guy with no friends.
I think in the future they're going to make them optional, because right now you have to get them in the TRD Pro. That, to me, is the weirdest decision. They should make it an option that you can get rid of or pick.
Yeah.
That's just about it then on TRD Pro. The last thing I want to say, and this applies to every Tacoma across the board, so TRD Pro included, just the daily drivability is better. They fixed that front seating position, the driver's seating position, which, frankly, I could never really get comfortable in this truck before. Way more comfortable now. And then you add the suspension differences. Yeah, just for on-road driving, forgetting about off-road, the Tacoma is basically better in every single way, I would
Agreed,
say.
yeah.
But now let's dive a little bit more into the Trail Hunter, because that is arguably the more exciting trim here because it didn't exist in the marketplace before. And Toyota is really trying to cater to the overlanding crowd. I know that's a big buzzword these days. Call it off-road camping if you want. But it's definitely a popular segment. People want that look. They want those features. So Toyota said, why don't we supply that to them right off the bat? And when I first saw Trail Hunter, yeah, I kind of looked at it and said, okay, it's kind of just badges on a TRD Pro.
Yeah,
sort of,
a bunch of stickers.
Yeah, different look on the same thing. But then we got them up north and compared them, and I was actually surprised at how different they were. When we put them up on the rack, you'll notice right away the Trail Hunter has a much more substantial skid plate package. The protection is way better. And again, if you're really talking about getting way out there off the grid, protection is massively important. You don't want to be stranded, right? So I was happy to see those skid plates. I like that the Trail Hunter, you can still get the longer bed option too, so you have more flexibility. And then, yeah, you know what, the air compressor, call it it a small feature if you want. When I started using it, my brain's running and going, there's so many uses for this that I could think of. Airing up and down the tires is the obvious one. You know, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you don't want to haul a compressor with you. You can change your PSI.
No, the truth is his kids' pool toys.
Sure, anything, man. You bring some floaties and you want to blow them up and hit the river. Or my thought too is you're camping, especially in a dusty environment, just for blowing off your gear, right? That's a big deal too. So there's really a lot of uses. And then the fact that you have power now too, Dad, 2.4 kilowatts, thanks to the hybrid. Great in the Pro as well, but in the Trail Hunter, when you're really talking about camping, bringing that power along with you is massively beneficial. So yeah, I really do think the Trail Hunter is different enough that it's going to really resonate with a different customer.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they're very differently focused. So it's always nice when you used to have one sort of top option, now you got two.
Right.
But in addition to which, it also creates a different price point.
Sure.
Because Trail Hunter is cheaper than TRD Pro.
So it's actually a little tricky. Trail Hunter is cheaper than TRD Pro in the United States. It's a different, the Toyota Canada and Toyota USA saw these things a little bit differently. But just talking price in general, you know what, these are $80,000 trucks. So yes, they really have pushed up. And again, every Tacoma across the board is now more expensive. It would have been nice for them to maybe have kept the price point, but yeah, they didn't do that. This is what we're seeing again across the world of pickup trucks, but it does become harder to swallow at that price, no doubt.
Yeah, however, and this is maybe just timely because of where we're standing here at the end of November, sales are in the tank. Not Tacoma necessarily, just the auto industry in general. And there's layoffs are rampant. You know, the guys at FCA or Stellantis, you know, they're crying because they've got like 400 days worth of inventory. So I am hopeful that this coming winter we will see prices coming down across the board.
Yeah, no, I agree. It does feel like that shift is finally happening, and that's the last thing these brands can do because it feels like we've hit peak truck pricing and they got to back off to be able to move some of these units. And yeah, TRD Pro and Trail Hunter are classic examples of that because they are at the pinnacle of pricing, and we'll have to see if people are buying them, but I get the feeling that, yeah, the overall sentiment is these trucks are too expensive.
Yeah, in general.
So we are definitely coming to the end of this one. I think the last point I want to bring up about Tacoma in general is that the reliability of this new generation has definitely been called into question. People are wondering whether it's going to be as reliable as the last truck. We're still early days, realistically, of this gen, so you have to give it some time to see how these things bear out. But there's already been some issues with, you know, high-profile YouTubers, and just when I look on forums, there's some people complaining about transmission problems, stuff like that. So I'm not going to stay in here and say it's not reliable, but I will say that, yes, more than ever, people are questioning the reliability of the Tacoma, which is not a good thing for Toyota because this truck is really built on its reputation for reliability. So we have to see how that progresses into the future. But right now, yeah, reliability feels like a little bit of a question mark here.
Absolutely, and you know what? Nobody stays on top forever.
Yeah, that's fair too. So yeah, like I said, we are coming to the end of this one. We need to hear your thoughts on this new Tacoma, especially the hybrid power plant. What do you think? What do you think about everything you've seen in this video? And yes, let's talk about Truck of the Year. So this is just one of the contenders, the Tacoma Hybrid. We have some other trucks we're going to talk about in videos coming up. And then just after New Year's, we will announce our 2025 Truck of the Year, which is always an exciting time.
And it'll be coming up before you know it.
Yeah.
But Steve, I got one question for you.
Yeah.
Why can't we do this in the summertime?
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? It's already getting chilly. Hey, there's no snow on the ground yet, so we'll take it.
Wait for it.
So yeah, folks, that is it for this one. Like I said, leave us that comment. Let us know what you think of this truck, of our pick last year. Any of your thoughts on the Tacoma, we're happy to hear them. And then as always, while you're down there leaving that comment, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member, and then come right back here to Truck King to find out the winner.
Thanks, everybody.